big hunky dude save the world. Beautiful woman, make love to your husband. Pregnancy, yeah. Shouldn't be announced up at 16, and junkie for life. Are you excited about doing indie films? Do you take time out to do
I think indie films are awesome. I think it gives so many people an opportunity to put their stamp on a piece of art, whether it's director, actor, DP, anybody. I think it's great, and I think what's really fascinating and awesome is that indie films are getting recognition, and getting Oscars that normally it's only the big, it's awesome. I'm behind 100%.
Indie films made my
I just did one. I just started one. So,
congratulations. What's the name of the one you started?
And then there was you.
It was good.
Comes out Christmas.
I love indie films because the idea of taking a chance on somebody new, being a part of somebody's new first time experience is that's what indie films made my life. And oddly, we were kind of making each other's life because it was my first experience, their first experience, and my friends that are actors that are really big, they'll say stuff no, but indie $100 a day, and I'm yeah, that's Martin Scorsese one day, that's Spike Lee one day, just wait, give them time, because I say that about myself. I'll be Meryl Streep one day, brown version, but you know what I'm saying. Yes. Yes.
Once again, Magic Mike. It's a $6.8 million film that was funded half by Channing and half by Steve.
That's a big indie film.
Very expensive indie film nowadays.
True. But done without the studio system.
That's right.
We went out and let's shoot this thing, let's do it because we believe in it and do it well. And what happened was that a bidding war broke out from the studios over who's going to buy it. And all these studio heads were there every day. While we were doing our male stripping dance routines,
as they should be.
I'm like, wait a second, you're here again? Don't you have something to do in the office?
She's on $7 and you're
I'll take them.
Were they throwing dollars too?
Yeah. But we're working for scale.
Yeah.
And you knew going into it, and there was going to be a month of rehearsals, dance rehearsals prior to the shooting, and you're just going to do that for the love of the game. But for me, I'm a theater guy, and I came from theater, so I'm used to not getting paid anything. It's just black box with a couple of chairs, and let's go.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to go do Streetcar this fall, and it's just about working. It's just about working on the great roles with great people, and that's what it's about. And I'm lucky enough that HBO keeps my lights on at home, so I can go off and do these things that I really, really want to do.
Yeah, Sam Jackson said it a long time ago, you do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And we all want to work in great stories, great characters. In indie films, we have just a lot more range. People say they give you more chances to have that you're in their movie, and they give you chances to play different characters. I come from New York, guerrilla filmmaking, where we just stole shots, we ran around with a camcorder, made movies, and we were okay with eating the same pizza for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Because it's that delicious.
Yeah, we were all right with that.
Yeah, I'm not getting a penis pump handed to me in a studio.
Wow.
So, speaking of characters, a lot of people always want to know, what's your process when you attack a script? What's your process when you get introduced to a character? How do you address it? Dialogue first, emotion. Break it down.
I think for me it's like making jambalaya. There's a whole bunch of ingredients that go in. For example, on True Blood, okay, there's a guy and he turns into a wolf, so I need to go hang out with some wolves.
Nice. Zoo.
So I went. There's actually they have these live wolves up on ranches up outside of Ojai. So I went and spent time with the wolves and just observed them, watched them. I talked to the trainers. I watched videos just about their behavior in the pack.
You watched videos. You didn't go out there in the woods.
Oh no, I went up there with them.
Oh, you're retarded.
Yeah.
That's true. No way. That's an actor going wrong for black people. No
Well,
way.
there's that. Actor mauled by wolves before he even gets a chance to shoot. There's a lot to be learned there. Behavior and the way he moves, or whatever. And then he comes from Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, well let's start pouring through Jackson, Mississippi dialect tapes to find the guy that sounds the way I want him to sound. From there was based on a series of books. So go get into the books and try to get a feel for who he is in his soul. He hates being a werewolf. So obviously this was probably a traumatic experience for him. He never got to really live the life he wanted to live. Ask that girl out. He wanted to ask out because he couldn't tell her who he was. You know, doesn't want to have children as a result. So all of this stuff gets thrown into that pot. You know, you mix all that up, and then, but when I get the page on the day of, you know, I cover the next line. I'll read the other person's line with a cover, see what my impulse is by them saying that to me, and then uncover it and see how close I was.
Yeah.
You know, kind of play that game as I go down.
And that helps. That makes it stick in the brain a lot easier too.
Yeah.
It's more emotionally based and not just so I gotta learn my line.
I don't like the word memorize. I don't ever use that because it's so neck up. You know, I had a teacher in college who was from Peru, and she used to say you have to incorporate. The root of incorporate being the cuerpo, the body. You have to get it into your body, not into your neck up.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. For me,